Villains Fan and Wiki. Advertisement. Villains Fan and Wiki. The Man in the Suit. Full name. Haruo Nakajima possibly. Alias. The Man. Gojira. Goji. Godzilla. The Man in the Suit. The Man in the Gojira Suit. Origin. The Man in the Suit. Occupation. Suit actor formerly. Powers, skills. Superhuman strength. High durability. Sharp claws. High intelligence. Infectious bite. Stealth. Mastery of intimidation. Animalistic instinct. Vomiting churning blood. Megathoskinesis. Regeneration. Superhuman speed. Hobby. Wearing the Gojira suit. Turning other suit actors into their own characters. Hating the Americans. Goals. Become one with Gojira. Succeeded. Convert his fellow suit actors into their own characters. Succeeded with Anguirus and Mazura Larva. Ongoing with future suit actors. Kill Shoichi Hirose. Succeeded. Kill the Americans to avenge the deaths of his family and everyone else he loves from the Hiroshima and Nagasaki bombings ongoing. Kill count 3 plus 33 heavily implied. Crimes. Serial murder. Mutilation. Man-eating. Death threats. Stalking. Crimes against mankind. Hate crimes. Assault. Type of villain. Tragic god wannabe. Gojira may be a monster, but he seems different to me. He is rather a god. Controlling our world according to each order. And I will be the meat of the beast. I will be the host of Gojira. Because I want to be a god who is respected by people. I want to be the meat of this beast. And the fear of which one is wrong. I'm not a movie monster. It's Goji. The law of good and evil. I will live in this beast. Because he is the only one who can help us. There is no god. Just me. Goji. The man in the suit on himself and his character. We were supposed to make a movie about what happened. About what they did. What they did to my family. What they did to me. Oh filthy traitors. I didn't pour my soul into this carcass to be entertained. And with those who killed my family. Betrayer. The man in the suit on the creation of King Kong vs. Godzilla and his hatred towards Americans. You don't understand. You killed my family. You Americans cheered when we lost. We lost our homes. We lost our families. You nuked us. The nuke took my wife. The nuke took my kids. Hiroshima was our home. I left for a business trip. You took everything from me. So I decided to return peace. By getting rid of the people who wronged us. Gojira's message in the video mailed to the cameraman. The man, also known as Gojira, or Goji, better known as the Man in the Suit, is the titular main antagonist of the analog horror series of the same name created by Unknowingly. A Japanese man who lost his family to the Hiroshima and Nagasaki bombings and became mad with revenge and hatred towards America, he is the suit actor for Gojira, who went insane and merged his body with the suit after donning it, becoming a powerful supernatural force and spreading its power and influence to the other suit actors. Advertisement. Appearance. The man mostly appears like how Gojira looked throughout his movie appearances starting with the first movie. The main difference on the outside being his bloodshot eyes, which are hidden with contacts, as a result of him fusing within the suit. On the inside, the man's body is shown to be grotesquely expanded and filling the suit's entire body, including the tail, the toes, and the head. His human form was never seen or known, even to the people who worked with him. Once Gojira was removed from the suit, he was changed into a fleshy creature that resembles Godzilla before he would generate skin that is described as looking real but fake, as if the rubber material of the suit had genetically fused with his body, and was now grown to 10 feet tall. In the Mazura incident video, Gojira was covered in paste that made him shiny and was given eye contacts to hide his bloodshot eyes, resulting in his appearance within the Mothra vs. Godzilla film. The original inside of the man in the Gojira suit. The original inside of the man in the Gojira suit. The man after being removed from the Gojira suit. The man after being removed from the Gojira suit. The inside of the man in the Gojira suit following his merge. The inside of the man in the Gojira suit following his merge. Advertisement. Personality. The man is stated to be a rather strange and mysterious individual when he first started production on the first Godzilla movie titled Gojira. He was obsessed with the Gojira kaiju. In fact, he was never seen taking off the suit and insisting to keep it on even at home and being called Goji, which was just Gojira for short. However, as the suit merged with him, Gojira became even more like his character, being a feral kaiju unable to speak, though still being able to cooperate and act. However, when in the presence of another suit actor, his demeanor changes to a deranged beast who bites at them to give them the same fate he went through. He also deeply hates the Americans because of the Hiroshima and Nagasaki bombings, which led him to kill a fellow Japanese suit actor because he was portraying an American kaiju. Despite these crimes, the man in the Gojira suit thinks these actions are justified, as he claims he is trying to deliver peace by taking out those who wronged him. This shows that the man in the Gojira suit is delusional and has developed somewhat of a hero complex, while also being unaware that the world was moving on from the nuclear bomb attacks. His true goal also implies that his actions of infecting the other suit actors was only a small step to a bigger prize, and he is shown to not care about the pain and suffering he is putting others through. Unlike the other suit actors, the man in the Gojira suit seems to embrace and even relish in his fate of being merged with his suit, calling himself a god. Advertisement. History. Past. Most of the man's past is initially unknown, but it is clear that he once had a family, a wife and kids before they died to the nuclear bomb attacks from the Americans, while he survived thanks to being on a business trip. The event filled the man's heart with hatred for the Americans, claiming he lost everything, and likely starting his road to insanity. Filming the first Gojira movie. The mysterious worker for the first Godzilla movie, Gojira, was strange. When he put on the suit, he insisted to keep it on him at all times, even during lunch or even when he was outside the production studio. He even insisted on being called Goji, the nickname for Gojira. His face was never seen. This kept going until one day, the man in the Gojira suit started acting stranger than normal. During filming, he suddenly stopped moving and only moved and breathed in short increments. 2 minutes later, the filmmakers tried to get the suit off of him, only to discover that Gojira had grossly melted inside the suit and his flesh merged with it, literally becoming one with the suit. He claims that he is now a god and embraces being one with the beast. The Anguirus incident. The following year, the man, still merged with the Gojira suit, was brought back to work on the second Godzilla movie titled Gojira Raids Again. Toho had hidden the incident with the man in the Gojira suit from the public in order to avoid lawsuits, so they kept the man in the Gojira suit hidden away from the public to train him. It was initially determined that the cause of the man in the Gojira suit's mutation was from consuming a drug that made his flesh inflate in the suit, which then merged with it, rearranging his bones too. His bloodshot eyes were able to see out of the suit and he was unable to speak, only make growling noises like an animal, though he could still act cooperatively. The suit actor for Anguirus, Godzilla's opponent in the movie, was odded out by the man in the Gojira suit, as he was not aware of the incident until now. During filming of the second fight scene with the man in the Anguirus suit, the man in the Gojira suit had bit of the man in the Anguirus suit in the neck, which meant he was biting on the suit actor's head, making it bleed until the suit actor was unconscious. The man in the Gojira suit protected the knocked-out man in the Anguirus suit by threatening the crew with a haunting stare. The Anguirus suit would not come off the actor. He too became one with his suit, just like the man in the Gojira suit. Revenge on the Americans. Despite the horrors on set, the man in the Gojira suit was brought back again to film King Kong vs. Gojira. This time, the man in the Gojira suit was less cooperative, between how kid-friendly he was made to look and how he had to work with the Americans and an American kaiju, due to him hating their country for their crimes towards Japan which killed his family. He considered the suit actor in the King Kong suit, Shoichi Hirose, a traitor for portraying Kong. The man in the Gojira suit would roar at the Americans, and he would have to be held back like a lion at a zoo. In the filming for the last scene in the fight, the man in the Gojira suit ended up pushing Hirose off a cliff into some water, where he proceeded to brutally slash and drown him to death before rising from the water. Horrified, the cameraman ran from the scene into the corridors to get help. The power had gone out as he heard screams coming from the other room, presumably the man in the Gojira suit killing everyone he came across. The cameraman used his camera's flash to find an employee, only to find the terrifying sight of the man in the Gojira suit charging at him in the dark, only the reflective white of his eyes being visible. After the cameraman somehow manages to survive his encounter, he sought help from his friend, Elisa. She says that the man had merged with the Gojira suit via radiation and exploded within the suit before reforming as Gojira and that there was no going back for him. Dorsal extraction. At some point, a few people at Toho tried to remove the man from the Gojira suit, only him to change into a hideous Godzilla-like form, though they still deduced the results to be fantastic. However, one of the men were attacked in the process, only being saved by the camera flash. The Missouri incident. Another movie was being filmed titled Missouri vs. Gojira. During filming, the man in the Gojira suit had to work with a Mazura puppet this time, though a female suit actress had to be playing in the Mazura larva suit, much to the production team's worries. Her parents were even there to cheer for her on the movie. All three of them were unaware of the horrors behind the scenes. During filming, the man in the Gojira suit suddenly snapped and attacked the Mazura puppet. After realizing it was a puppet all along, he went after and attacked the woman in the Mazura larva suit, biting her head, just like on what he did to the man in the Anguirus suit. Her parents tried to stop the kaiju, but they were both mauled to death. And just like with the man in the Anguirus suit, the man in the Gojira suit tried to protect the woman in the Mazura larva suit as she was also being mutated like the man in the Anguirus suit, but this time, the man in the Gojira suit was tased by a now-ready crew. As a result, the man in the Gojira suit had escaped the studio into the forbidden public. After the man in the Gojira suit had escaped the studio and wandered around the streets, noticing that the world had been surprisingly calm and peaceful even after the bombings, thinking about how the world was forgetting what happened. He got pictures from a child, who said the kaiju looked uncanny, and even drew a creepy drawing of the monster. The man in the Gojira suit was found in nature, calming down. The man in the Gojira suit then suddenly vomited up radioactive blood in an effort to defend himself from the crew, burning the forest, but was captured once more. When the team got back, they expected the Mazura larva suit actress to be merged with the suit, only to find a cocoon on the ceiling, confirming that the woman had not merged with the suit but had instead become something far worse, presumably a horrifying form of Mazura's imago form, and further confirming to the team that the suit actors were adapting their powers to said cocoon would release a toxic gas when handled. Toho, hearing about the man in the Gojira suit's brief escape, pictures, and interaction with that child, passed it off as a stunt marketing act for the upcoming movie. The Ghidorah incident. Still not giving up their cash cow despite the increase in horrors and tragedies, Toho allowed the man in the Gojira suit to be in the next movie. The other starring monster, King Ghidorah, alerted the cameraman the potential indescribable horrors from Goji's infection, forcing him to step in. Advertisement. Abilities. Superhuman characteristics. The man in the Gojira suit has developed the same characteristics as the kaiju he's portraying. Being capable of overpowering the other suit actors and even the security teams armed with tasers. He possesses sharp teeth and claws that he uses to mutilate his victims and infect other actors. High intelligence. Despite his mutations and animalistic behavior, the man in the Gojira suit still possesses normal high human intellect. He is somehow able to create a threatening tape for the Americans from Toho Studios despite being in hiding. Unlimited growth. Elisa stated that there is no end point to the man in the Gojira suit's mutation, which was proven when he grew to 10 feet tall after being removed from his suit. Regeneration. Likely due to the supposed radiation, the man in the Gojira suit can regenerate as he was able to grow skin and even his own dorsal fins. Infectious bite. The actors wearing a kaiju suit that gets bitten will begin to merge with their costumes just like Gojira. According to the man in the Anguirus suit, this process is very painful. Victims will begin to grow characteristics based on the kaiju they're portraying, like the Mazura larva suit actress who formed a cocoon around herself. Vomiting boiling blood. When the production team found the man in the Gojira suit after the Mazura incident, he began to shake and spew out a stream of boiling blood in the same vein as Godzilla's atomic breath. The blast was powerful enough to leave a smoldering crater and forest behind. An eyeball was supposedly seen in the radioactive puddle, but the implications of this has yet to be revealed. Advertisement. Quotes. Note. All of the man's dialogue is translated from Japanese. Godzilla may be a monster, but I wonder if it is natural for me to be in this giant's body, to be able to become something like him. Gojira pondering on becoming his character, his first words in the series. Wake up. You have a purpose. Stop trying to stop the inevitable. Gojira to the Anguirus suit actor. Anguirus. Help me, someone help me, it hurts so much, it hurts, I can't get out, please help me, oh God. Gojira. There's no God, just me. Don't worry, I will make you whole again. You lost your family, that's why I take revenge. Kill those who have wronged us. Anguirus. Who are you? Gojira. It's Goji, only Goji. Gojira as he mutilates the Anguirus suit actor. Gojira on the creation of King Kong vs. Godzilla. Why are we with them? Gojira at the last few frames of Godzilla encounter, as he charges at the cameraman. Traitor. I am not a monster. I will help you all. I will kill those who have wronged me, those who murdered my family, and those who supported them. You killed my family. Monsters. Gojira's monologue in Depiction of Growth. We knew the world would not be the same. A few people laughed. A few people cried. Most people were silent. I remembered the line from the Hindu scripture, the Bhagavad Gita. Vishnu is trying to persuade the prince that he should do his duty, and to impress him takes on his multi-armed form and says, "Now I am become death, the destroyer of worlds." Gojia reciting J. Robert Oppenheimer's iconic speech in his cell, his only audible quote in the series. This place, the outside air, the cars, the windows, the house. Did they just move on? Will we forget? Gojira as he examines the outside world. Advertisement. Gallery. Godzilla may be a monster, but I wonder if it is natural for me to be in this giant's body, to be able to become something like him. Godzilla may be a monster, but I wonder if it is natural for me to be in this giant's body, to be able to become something like him. Wake up. You have a purpose. Stop trying to stop the inevitable. Wake up. You have a purpose. Stop trying to stop the inevitable. Goji charging at the cameraman in darkness, his eyes being reflected. Goji charging at the cameraman in darkness, his eyes being reflected. Elisa's first drawing of Goji's potential grown form. Elisa's first drawing of Goji's potential grown form. Elisa's third drawing of Goji's potential grown form. Elisa's third drawing of Goji's potential grown form. Goji in the mailed message. Goji in the mailed message. Goji on the streets. Goji on the streets. Another photo of Goji in public. Another photo of Goji in public. The child's drawing of Goji. The child's drawing of Goji. Goji's haunting stare as he protects the man in the Anguirus suit. Goji's haunting stare as he protects the man in the Anguirus suit. The initial image used for Goji's haunting stare. The initial image used for Goji's haunting stare. Why are we with them? Why are we with them? An alternate image of Goji in the dark halls. An alternate image of Goji in the dark halls. Elisa's second drawing of Goji's potential grown form. Elisa's second drawing of Goji's potential grown form. The man in the Gojira suit in a cell. The man in the Gojira suit in a cell. Ditto, but now with an open jaw. Ditto, but now with an open jaw. Goji in public. Goji in public. Another photo of Goji on the streets. Another photo of Goji on the streets. The result of the man in the suit infecting the woman in the Mazura larva suit. The result of the man in the suit infecting the woman in the Mazura larva suit. Advertisement. Trivia. The original Gojira suit was actually made of ready mixed concrete, and was extremely heavy, bulky, and hot to the touch. It was nearly 140 degrees Fahrenheit inside, so realistically, it would not be recommended to stay in that suit for so long, let alone days on end, as even 10 minutes in an area that hot would induce hyperthermia. The man in the Gojira suit was likely based on the late Haruo Nakajima, who portrayed the original Godzilla. It's not confirmed that this is the true identity of the man in the Gojira suit, and it is quite unlikely they are meant to be the same. Anguirus was originally portrayed by Katsumi Tezuka, though his identity is hidden in the analog series. The Mazura larva was actually portrayed by Nakajima and Tezuka, and not a female suit actress. It's possible that the reason why a completely different actor played the Mazura larva is because the suit actors for Gojira and Anguirus were both out of commission due to them being merged with their respective suits. King Kong's suit actor, Shoichi Hirose, is the only suit actor in the series who is properly named. He is also currently the only suit actor to not get infected, due to the man in the Gojira suit's disdain for anything American. The man in the Gojira suit vomiting out blood is similar to Shin Godzilla vomiting blood before reaching an evolution, implying that the man in the Gojira suit will return more powerful following his capture in the wild. The man in the Gojira suit biting Anguirus' neck, the suit actor's head is directly taken from the scene from Godzilla Raids Again where the titular kaiju kills Anguirus by biting his neck, only now it has horror put behind the scenes. The man in the Gojira suit rising from the water after killing Hirose is likely a reference to the rumor that surrounded King Kong vs. Godzilla, where people thought there were alternate endings where Godzilla won and rose from the water. It's unknown how the man in the Gojira suit obtained the power to infect the other suit actors. If the man in the Gojira suit's actions are his own or if he is being controlled by an outside force. If the suit was cursed or it was all a result of the man's obsession with Gojira. How the man in the Gojira suit made that video that was sent to the cameraman given his agonizing and feral state, as well as if he sent it to the cameraman, or if someone at Toho found it and sent it to him. How the filmmakers were able to modify the man in the Gojira suit's appearances for King Kong vs. Godzilla, as the suit is merged with the actor and the suit in the movie lacked the ears, fourth toe, and was more pudgier, although his different appearance in Mothra vs. Godzilla can be attributed to how he was removed from the suit and potentially mutated to a different appearance. It can be said that this version of Toho is the true antagonist of the series, as it was their negligence that caused the man in the Gojira suit to slip further into madness, as well as unintentionally cause the tragedies to the suit actors for Anguirus and Mazura by keeping him around despite his horrific condition for the sake of entertainment. He was partly inspired by the Suitmation Trials version of Godzilla. In fact, the initial image used for Gojira's stare as he protects the man in the Anguirus suit was from the Suitmation Trials, which has become the most famous image of the series. The video was later re-uploaded to change the image upon the Suitmation Trials creator's request. He is very similar to Iron Man from the Darkhold Iron Man comic by Marvel, to the point where fans of the Versus community commonly pair Goji against Darkhold Iron Man. They were both normal people who went insane after a freak incident. Goji lost his family in the bombings while Iron Man was thought to have died from his captors, which led to them wearing and grotesquely merging with their respective suits. They both were obsessed with keeping their suits on, though Iron Man initially tried to remove his suit and was unable to, while Goji never intended to remove his suit. They both have the ability to make others merge with suits similar to the ones they themselves merged with such actions being major factors of their ultimate plans. They both see themselves as gods thanks to said infectious abilities. They both have turned on and attacked their fellow friends and workmates into sharing their fate, believing it is the right thing to do. He also shares similarities to Springtrap from Five Nights at Freddy's, as they are both killer workers of a shady company who got mutilated and merged with a work suit, eventually having it become their new skin. As determined by MatPat, the theme of the series is grief and vengeance. Goji's motive to kill Americans is from grief how his family was killed by Americans, which festered into vengeance. However, said vengeance became blind, as most of the people Goji killed and made suffer were fellow Japanese people who went through the same grief he was going through. Additionally, Goji's shock at how Japan is not preparing for revenge parallels to how the real world handled the tragedies, not in world-ending vengeance, but peace and learning, while simultaneously not forgetting humanity's mistake. Advertisement. More information. Top contributors. Matt Say Yay. Book 35817. Godzilla Fan 8889. Comments. Categories. Community content is available under CC by SAW unless otherwise noted. Fandom logo. Explore properties. Fandom. Mutthead. Fanatical. Follow US. Overview. What is fandom? About. Careers. Press. Contact. Terms of use. Privacy policy. Global sitemap. Local sitemap. Community. Community Central. Support. Help. Do not sell or share my personal information. Advertise. Media kit. Contact. Fandom apps. Take your favorite fandoms with you and never miss a beat. Fandom app logo. Store icon. Store icon. Villains Fan and Wiki is a fandom anime community. View full site.